So, hey, so how do y'all feel
You
about?
don't know who Carrot Top is?
Who the hell is Carrot
Yeah,
Top?
I go.
Really?
My favorite hotel in Vegas is the Lux Store. He got a residency there.
Carrot Top is a white comedian with a bright red afro.
He a ginger.
Oh,
You have to go. Oh my gosh!
He,
Go look him up one time on YouTube. He is the goofiest fucking guy in the world. And what's that other guy? The exercise guy. He also got an afro.
Ben Simmons.
Uh
That blowout.
And Screech from Saved by the Bell.
Yep, you guys getting them all because they got an afro.
On Screech.
Doogie Howser.
I don't know if we want Screech.
Yeah, he went psycho.
Yeah. God rest his soul, but
Yeah.
I don't know if we want that. But nah, I mean, yeah, he's definitely influenced. Oh, I definitely think his influence is cross cultural. For sure, but I've never questioned where to put him. That's like I don't think anybody would ever question where to put Beyonce. But then again, you really can't. Now that's probably not a really good comparison because Beyonce is very, very vocal about where she fits in
Yeah.
and where she stands culturally. Michael Jackson, he'll touch on it, of course, in interviews, but his music wasn't really about that.
He stayed as far away from anything like that, you know.
Exactly. But I mean, just as far as influence, like I said, it's definitely cross cultural. But we know where he at.
Yeah. God, now I want to go watch Free Willy, just because we're talking about Michael Jackson so much.
I remember that movie.
Filmed here in Oregon.
I want to go watch The Wiz.
Oh, there you go.
Michael Jackson. Everybody except for Diana Ross has passed away.
It's sad.
Russell, Michael Jackson.
You know what's really bad about it all is we musically, with a lot of these different artists passing away and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Can you honestly say that you're seeing the replacements? Like over the years, when Jimi Hendrix passed, you started having the Jacksons and everything. Like there's always been like this follow up of who's next. We kind of had a pre-idea of who was coming next. And I feel like even in the movie industry, I'm hoping that you can agree, we have some of these actors, musicians, like people are passing on due to age. And I'm not seeing anybody who's coming in to replace them. Like I'm not seeing any, when Morgan Freeman goes, I'm not seeing another Morgan Freeman anywhere. When Bruce Willis passes away, I'm not seeing any more Bruce Willises. I'm not seeing, and musically, hell, we've been talking about Nas and Nate and all. Nate passed away. Where's he at?
I don't think you're.
One though.
I don't think it's not the replacement. I just think your generation, you're not seeing it. Like I was listening to some podcast. They said NBA YoungBoy and Lil Durk are the Tupac and Biggie of this generation. I'm like, no way. But at the same time, I don't listen to those guys.
Yeah.
The little kids, their Nate Dogg is Roddy Ricch.
So that's an interesting point.
But we're still stuck on the '90s. I still listen to Death Row every day.
Right.
I listen to Dirk and I don't see it at all.
Yeah, but Dirk, NBA YoungBoy, that's their Tupac and Biggie.
And I don't see it. But honestly, the only quote unquote replacements that I can see, and hopefully no one out there listening is part of the Beehive, but I'm not even going to say replacements. I'm going to say people who can carry the torch. Usher and Chris Brown. If Chris Brown just kind of got himself together, I see him definitely carrying that torch for Michael.
Oh yeah.
Chloe Bailey, I see her carrying that torch for Beyonce. I actually think that's what Beyonce is molded because
I see her trying. I see her trying a lot.
They discovered her and her sister. So I see Beyonce kind of passing the torch for either her or Normani. I see it more in R&B than I do in hip hop.
Yeah.
For sure. I think that as much as people go back and forth on Drake, I love Drake. I think Drake is amazing. I think Drake is definitely one of the greats. I think
Drake top 5 of all time musicians out of anybody. With
I
the
love
hit,
Drake and Drake has that appeal to where kids in high school listening to Drake, people in their 40s bumping Drake. You know what I'm saying? A lot of
Yeah,
artists,
he's definitely bridged an age gap that a lot
absolutely,
of artists have not been able to do. You know,
absolutely.
and I mean, you made a good point about, you know, I guess the new generations of everything are changing what their, you know, Tupac and Biggie and everything really are. But, you know, I'm also wondering about what music's going to do over the next, you know, 5, 6 years, because it seems like to me, you know, because we're starting to see this in the film industry, um, they're going to have to start, I mean, unfortunately, and it sucks, but music is going to have to start being censored and catered to the public, because movies are already doing it. If you watch movies nowadays, there's always something regarding transgender. There's always something regarding different types of relationships. They're very much trying to include everything. Like I see this happening more and more and more in Hollywood. Ted, you and I were talking about this on the set the other day about how we had to make sure that we have one of your buddies is in our film. And after we casted him, I had to write him in a part because I sat down with Ted. I was like, yeah, I don't know if it's a good idea for us to kill the only black guy in our entire film right at the beginning of the movie. So let's rewrite him in and let's give him an actual character and everything. Plus, I love Howard. Howard's a great guy, and you know he knows what he's doing. But
Oh, go ahead.
oh, it just I'm curious about the music of the next 5 years, about how much of it's going to change due to everybody being offended by everything. Like I'm so over people being offended by everything. You know it. It's kind of like what you were talking earlier, Shine. I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name right. I hope
Shine.
Shine. You were talking about 20 years ago, women calling themselves bitches in songs was such a huge ordeal. It was like unheard of. How dare you? Why are you doing that? I feel like we're going back to that. I feel like we're getting back to that point where that's going to be an issue again.
So I'm not in the movie industry, but you said it's more censored. I don't think so because there's more avenues. I think in the 90s and before streaming came along, they can take whatever movie out there that they want to. Now with Netflix, YouTube, you can film a movie on the cell phone. I think it's more diverse. Now, as far as censoring, the only people you can't say nothing about is the LB. I don't even know past the four-letter community. And right now, it sounds like the Jews. Everything else is not off limits,
People.
in my opinion.
It sucks. I mean, I don't know you guys. I mean, Ted knows me and stuff like that. It's actually really crazy. So my life doesn't even fall into the LGBTQ plus community. I get shunned from it. So I have 2 wives. So I'm married to 2 beautiful, beautiful women who are amazing and supportive, and we all live together and everything else like that. And,
That's a podcast in itself.
But it's I talked to Ted about it a couple of times. We get shunned. We're shunned probably more than the most groups than what you think of, because I'm considered a martyr or I'm taking advantage of 2 women. And it's like, guys, we've been together for 10 years. They've got their own bank accounts with money, and if they want to leave, like, they could go. There's nothing really keeping them here. But, it was like the Jeffrey Dahmer film that came on Netflix. Okay? They had that under LGBTQ tagged. Okay? And they were forced to remove that tag because the community got upset. What is it? Little Nas or whatever his name is. There was a big issue about. Is that who it is? I'm thinking that's who it is, but
Lil Nas X kissing
when
the
he
guy
talked
at that
about
war
being,
show.
yeah, it became a huge fucking pariah. It became this big old deal, and it's like, because they thought he was making fun of gay people or he was doing it. And it's like, we're at that point. Yeah, but openly he is, but they thought that he was still mocking the gay community, and it turned into that big ordeal. And so it's like, at what point do I feel like we're reversing back? Because now we have to accommodate so much. I mean, Ted and I have had to deal with it, and Shine, I'm pretty sure you have. when it comes to Netflix, Amazon, Hulu, you have specific guidelines if you ever want to get your show or anything you've ever done on there that you have to fall in, and it is very broad. There are certain words you can't say. There are certain things, like I was telling Ted, I want to do an entire documentary on escorts called Make Them Human. And I can't submit it to Netflix. Netflix won't pick it up. Hulu wants nothing to do with it. The only one that has showed any interest is some Roku TV thing. It's even like music, you know? Music channels on Pandora or Spotify are, you have to have a specific tag now in order to reach that channel, rather than just realizing, you know, that's where it kind of came down to the Michael Jackson thing. Okay? Michael Jackson will never be played on a rap channel anywhere. They won't do it. But he'll be played on rock. He's played on multiple rock channels because of his Smooth Criminal, or and his remakes of those songs. And so it's like, at what point? What? Go ahead.
I said, are you playing him on the rap channel?
Do they really?
Yeah.
Do y'all remember when they were mad
never heard
at?
him.
They was mad at Drake when he came out with God's Plan because he was on
Right?
pop,
Same thing.
rap, R&B, gospel. So I'm not sure what y'all listen to. I listen to YouTube music. I don't do the Spotify or Pandora anymore. But they cure playlists based on what songs you play. So they said Drake has a cheat code because,
Yep.
like you said, where did he fit in? A song like God's Plan was on R&B, rap with Tupac, gospel with Kirk Franklin, and so his numbers went up. And everybody said that's not fair. And just like Nicki
Yep.
Minaj is just talking about this. The girl Lotto. They called Nicki Minaj pop and wouldn't let her get in the rap category with Lotto. But Lotto remade Mariah Carey songs. I forgot the Mariah Carey song. Well, the one with ODB.
Big energy.
Yeah, I can't.
Big
Yeah,
energy.
I'm a man. I can't say that middle word in there. But no, just messing with you. But but Nicki,
You know what I said? Big energy.
yeah. Oh, I thought your phone just cut out.
Version. Big energy.
But go ahead.
But Nicki Minaj is
No.
like, how y'all put me pop and not her pop, and she remade arguably one of the top pop stars of all time, biggest pop song. You know, and she was basically coming down to pop is just a level of success, not necessarily the song. And I think that's what pop is.
I agree. 100%.
The level of success, not necessarily how the song sounds. So when you ask about Michael Jackson, you know what
So
I
who
mean,
do
the
you-
level he's at, he's the king of pop.
Oh yeah, Marcus, you missed the discussion last week and earlier when we were just talking about how art, like hip hop artists that went pop, to like, you know, basically increase their fan base and just become more financially successful. Like we were talking about Ja, Nelly, Nicki.
So my unbiased opinion, that's my little brother, but I knew nothing about this last week.
So I have a
So
question for the three
that's
of you
why I
guys.
missed it.
For pure curiosity, what's the difference between hip hop, pop, and rap?
I can tell you the difference between hip hop and rap for sure.
Level of
Yeah, but what's
success.
But hip hop and pop then is just what level of success, like he's saying?
Level of success. Jay-Z's
Disagree.
Annie is pop. If Mozzie make that song, just another rap song.
I can't agree with that because I think that as successful as Jay-Z is, I don't feel like Jay-Z's ever gone pop. I feel like he can be played on pop stations. The only time I feel like he goes pop is when he becomes Sean Knowles.
Yeah.
So Hard Knock Life wasn't pop.
That was definitely not pop.
With Annie singing was not pop,
That was a sample.
but that wasn't the pop song.
That's
Ted,
what
what do you got to say? I want to know what
Jay
Ted
Z,
says about it.
Niggas in Paris with Kanye West.
That shit was,
that was not pop to me.
okay.
That was pop if it ever was.
That was not pop. Okay, that might have been a little
Hold
pop.
on.
Yeah.
I want to hear what Ted got to
A
say.
little bit.
This hip hop is a blanket, right? Within hip hop, you got rap, got break dancing, you got fashion, you got language, which is like how we literally talk. I got my lingo, y'all got y'all's lingo. Now, sometimes it's certain R&B and reggae. You know what I'm saying? That's all hip hop. Hip hop is like the culture, the lifestyle. And rap is an art form within it. It's certain once rap reach a certain plateau. Like I don't think that a pop song has to be rap. Any rap song can be pop once it's on that level of like, for instance, the Migos, they got songs and they might have made a song in a movie or a club, might have remixed their song and just remix this one line of the song and run it back. And now it's a whole different thing. You know what I'm saying? But it all understand. The pop is your short for popular. It just means this is what everybody, not just this.
Okay.
Like hip hop rap, this is what hip hop rap is. Like for instance, Old Town Road, Lil Nas X, right? And he's a little black. That's why I went in country and hip hop. But everybody was listening to it, so it's pop. Wherever you put it, it's pop. But everybody listens to Mike. Everybody listens to Beyonce. Shit, everybody's listening to Drake. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, it's rap, it's R&B, but it's really pop. What Mike got over Nate Dogg is, yeah, it's hard, but really only like hardcore rap. Listen, you know, everybody listens to Drake. It's kind of,
So Warner Records just released who they believe the top 10 underground rappers are in the U.S. They just released this article this last month. And I want to see, I'm curious if you guys agree. So their number one is Baby Tate, young Baby Tate.
never heard of.
I don't even know who that is.
Number,
Diane Ferris's daughter. You remember Hopeless, like a penny with a hole in it? It was on the Love Jones soundtrack. She was part of Arrested Development. Y'all remember Arrested Development?
So you said what was the title? The number one underground artist?
Young Baby.
this is Warner Records who released the top new underground rappers.
Oh, okay.
Number two is BIA.
Oh, Bia. I don't think
Bia,
Bia's
yeah.
number two though.
Yeah, she got that song in the Bedego or whatever. I heard that in the club in Vegas.
You got a song with J. Cole. Are you really underground anymore?
You can pay for it. I mean, unfortunately, you can pay for it.
They probably signed to Warner. This is probably Warner's artist that they about to push. They probably got some type of deal with.
Next one is Duke Deuce.
I know who he is. He's underground. He's from Memphis.
Okay,
He had a song with Glorilla.
okay.
Next one is D2X.
I don't know who that is.
Fat Boy Sharif.
No, is he from Philly?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, she be doing her underground. I never heard
I'm
these
going to say this
motherfuckers.
horribly wrong. Nakel Smith.
I don't know who that is.
He did a song called Harvard Grad. Rome Streets.
I know Rome Streets.
And Riggs rounds out the top 10.
Let me give you some underground artists I'm on right now, man. Keep Rico, number one from the underground. Me and Sean was talking about Larry June. I don't know how underground you consider Larry June. He definitely doing the country. Motherfucking it's a cat named Big Sad 1900. Hard. I'm not the biggest Currency fan,